nice to see y'all. So, as everything goes, so we will make sure everything comes up and see if we've got everybody 5 by 5. Hopefully, everything's working. So, here comes the screen. So, let's see. Jason, you're going to give me my 5 by 5 as you're always the first one here. Let's see what we got. Or Jason, Jacob. That there we go. Sorry, brother. Okay, so happy Saturday, guys. Hope you all had some nice weather. I was watching a video, and the guys in Texas were down in shirt sleeves today, so hopefully that's a little bit better for all of them. Been a tough week, huh? Uh, you know, didn't know what y'all been through, but apparently it's been a wild and wacky one here in the community. Uh, a couple of things. I'll start by saying this. Okay, thank God for Prepper Now. If y'all don't watch his and telling it like it is, you got to go check that out. It's absolutely hilarious. And after everything that's gone on in the last 48 hours, I really needed a good laugh today. And his impressions are hilarious. So if you haven't checked out Prepper Now and telling it like it is, do that. It's kind of fun. So. Uh, the topic that's on everybody's mind, and I'm just going to kind of put it out there so we all know what's going on a little bit. If anybody watched Angry Prepper's video this morning, he did a premiere. I think it was like about 11:15, something like that this morning. It was I know the story. I've known it for a couple of days right now, and it's very upsetting to know what is being done. Y'all know everything that the whole community has done to help Mad Shad and Keto Homestead with Jess and the Needy Homesteader. And, we had Howie after he died, help, so there's been a lot of good community work that's been done. And I guess we had somebody in the community who took it upon themselves to start stealing a lot of the charitable contributions to the tune of at least what I know, to the tune of at least $1,000, and that's just not cool. So, uh, uh, you know, Jason did a good job explaining what was going on this morning. I'm not going to rehash everything there. TJ put up a video this evening discussing the same thing. Yeah, at least I know a good group of people know what's going on, and I'm not going to try to start drama here and calling people out. I know everybody wants to know, and I completely respect your wishes to know who's the thief, but I I don't want to start a war, and you know there's a lot of good channels out there. I subscribe to a lot of them, and obviously none of us can know all the good channels. I mean, there's probably a ton I don't know. I mean, between the homesteading channels and the prepping channels, there's a lot, and I meet new people and different sites I'm on all the time. I mean, I know some of you guys all have channels too, and when I become aware of them, I go watch them. I mean, Keith has got a channel, and I love going to watch Keith's stuff every morning. It's very good, and to listen to him. And I mean, small channel, but he's growing. It's a good channel. He puts out good information. So if you guys have channels or whatever, please let me know. I'd love to go check it out and see what's going on. But with this whole crap of a thief amongst us, I'm like I said, I'm not going to say anything, but the one thing I will say is that karma's a bitch, and it will come back to get them. And I'm just going to look at it that way. I just hope y'all figure it out. And the easiest way I can say to do it is look at, if you're watching a channel, listen with a sharpened ear, if you will, or watch what they're doing. I mean, if you're trying to sharpen a ferro rod with the blade of your knife, or you don't have a clue about, you know, camping or a bug out bag or something like that, how the hell can you call yourself a prepper? All right. And like I said, I know who this is. I have zero respect for the man. But such as so. So I wanted to get that out there because I know a lot of you guys have questions, and I understand it's a little confusing. It's very heartbreaking for me because, you know, y'all put a lot of money. I put a lot of money. We all put a lot of effort into helping these different people. And to find out that somebody was stealing from one is just, that's unforgivable. I'm sorry, forgive and forget. No, sorry. Stealing from a charity, stealing from somebody who's going through something like this is there's a nice warm place in hell waiting for him. That's all I've got to say. So, all right. I wanted to say good morning or good morning. That I can tell. That's my brain is fried with this, guys. It's been a lot to go through. So I just kind of wanted to say hi to everybody. Seeing a lot of new faces in here. Welcome to any of you guys that are new to the channel. If y'all don't know how we do things, we do pretty much a rapid fire Q&A every Tuesday and Saturday nights. You guys throw questions out to me. Obviously, there's people in the chat that can answer because I don't have all the answers. There's no way I could. I mean, I've said a million times I learned as much from you guys as I try to teach as well. I was talking to yeah, Keith, you're late, and I was just talking about your channel. Keith Brooks just popped in, so, but I was talking to one of the other content creators today, and she's like, "Well, I don't know about this." I'm like, you had a conversation the other day talking about water purification and things like that, and I said I was there completely slack-jawed because you knew more about it than I could even imagine. And I said, all of us have certain things that we know. And, like I was saying, I mean, I've got a background in the markets. I know that. I know economics. I know politics. I know gardening. All right. You're not going to see me make a video teaching you guys how to can foods. I'm going to be watching you guys on how to do it. Sutton Stays or Deep South Homestead or, any of those, and watching, Lisa or Wanda or anybody trying to, for me to learn. So, any of these people who think they have all the answers, they're full of shit. Okay. You all know that. And I'm going to tell you what I know and what I'm an expert on, and what I don't, I'm not going to talk about. I mean, like I joke, I'm not going to talk to you guys about knives. I'm not a knife guy. Okay. Do I know how to use one? Of course. But I mean, I can't tell you the difference between, two different makers and all that sort of stuff. That's just not my wheelhouse. So I'm not going to fake it and try to tell you it is. So watch the videos that you see, and when you see these guys who are completely talking out their ass, okay, just leave. That's all I can say. So, but for the new people, welcome. Like I said, that's what we do is Q&A. There's nothing that's off limits. I mean, within reason. Okay, we're not going to start talking about X-rated stuff or whatever it is. But I mean, all of a sudden, for was a couple of weeks ago, we went up 10 minutes going on 70s TV shows. So Saturdays are kind of to have fun. Obviously, it's going to be prepping related. But if it isn't, if it's you guys want to talk about something else, we will. So that's what it is. Ricky, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. But yeah, okay. So yeah, let's kind of get into it. I go through the names here of everybody, but I've already yammered on for 10 minutes, and I'd rather get to the reasons why you guys are here, because lately I haven't been able to get through all the questions, so I don't want to rattle on too much here about what's going on. I figure we're going to probably talk a little bit about the stimulus. I had put a video out on that around 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you all saw, the stimulus was approved. And, of course, there's not a whole lot of it in there for the people, but the pork really got that stuff stuffed in there. So if you guys want to know what all that is, I'll go through it. But, again, if you guys ask the questions, I'll answer. If you guys don't want to talk about that, we'll talk about 70s TV shows or heavy metal bands or whatever. So, all right. So I'm going to go into questions and kind of go there. So let's see where we start. Again, and I know the mods have probably done it. I see North Shore's in here. I know Jeep's in here. I saw Jacob, obviously. So Greetings to my mods, and as y'all know, and they know, they don't put up with any bullshit. There is no warning. You do something stupid, you're gone. We keep it clean here, within reason. Okay, but this is not a dating site. This is not being rude, crude, and obnoxious, I guess, if you will. So just keep it polite, people. If you got questions, please put them in all caps. Make it a hell of a lot easier for me to read, and we will kind of go from there. And I'm kind of scrolling down looking for questions. And as soon as I find the first one, it's going to bounce me all the way to the bottom. So let's see what we got. And sure enough, that's what it did. It just bounced me. All right. Scrolling back up. Okay, fortunately we're early and it's not too bad. So, Dawn Marie, yep, I understand. We need to know for our protection, but I understand the hard position you're in. Thank you for understanding, and I know, I you're right. It's a hard position to be in, and I don't want. I mean, I haven't seen the evidence, but I've heard it from the people that have seen the evidence, and I trust those people. So, but I'm not taking the lead on this. I wasn't the one that was directly involved. So if people that are directly involved want to bring it up, that's up to them. This isn't my fight. I just, know what happened. Yeah, North Shore, a thief is the lowest of the low. Ain't that the truth? Uh, you probably know what's going on. I'm not sure. I don't know if you did. Okay, let's see. Frugal Family Farmhouse gas has jumped 10 cents since yesterday. That's kind of a little bit of what I was telling you guys. Yes, I think I dropped an extra video yesterday around lunchtime that expect to see gas prices go up this weekend, and they're already starting to hit it. And then somebody had mentioned in the comments here in the last half an hour before we went live that he had a friend who was in the gas business, and they had said that expect to see gas jump another 40 cents here this coming week. So yeah, and if you want to add insult to injury, with besides the fact that you had all the stuff going down in Arkansas and the truckers problem and the cold weather in Texas, in case y'all didn't see it, the Russians had a airstrike on the Syrian oil fields today. Guess what that's going to do? Barrel of oil was at 68 bucks. I've seen economists already calling for 80 bucks on a barrel of oil this week, which goes into what I was saying yesterday, is you're probably going to see another 50-cent jump this week. So good news, huh? More money that we get to spend. Thanks, Joe. Okay, let's see. Scrolling on them. Frugal Family saying $3 for 10, $3.30 for diesel in Northwest Pennsylvania. Yeah, I mean, fortunately, Tennessee's a lot cheaper. I'm still paying around $2.50. So, but even then, this is what I said. Our gas was $1.95 on January 20th. Okay, is $2.49 now. All right, you go, okay, fine. It's 55 cents. It's not that much. But if you start thinking about it, that's a 25% jump in gas prices in 7 weeks. Okay, did your paycheck jump 25% in the last 7 weeks? I know mine didn't. So that's what we're looking at. It's like, okay, it's pennies here and pennies there, or whatever it is. But you start looking at things on percentage bases and how much they go up, and then it's like, oh crap, if something's 5 cents and it goes up to 10 cents, you're like, yeah, what, big deal. It's up a nickel. Yeah, the price just doubled. Yes, okay. Look on percentage bases. That's the way you can compare things accurately. Southern Bell teacher, need to watch Angry's vid. I will tell you this, and he said it's harsh, but he lays it all out there as what's going on, and very true. I mean, everybody, the good people are going to agree. You guys should all agree. It's like you don't want to be taken for a ride. I mean, obviously, don't want to be given bad information. I mean, sure, do we all make mistakes? Absolutely. I've made them before too. Something that I've found that turned out to be wrong, and I've told you guys about it, or people misunderstand things. That's true. But again, when you don't have a clue what you're doing and you're calling yourself a prepper, or you're stealing from people, you got no business in this community. So, Carmen, I'd really like to know. I throw a lot of donations out there. I know. This is this is where we're all kind of stuck. I mean, and like I said, I at least know Jason put the video up, TJ put the video up, and I wanted to mention it tonight. And we're trying to look out for you guys, but I I wish there was a good way to do it without completely starting a war. Because I've already been through one and it's the same person. But I really don't feel like going back there again because it ain't fun. Okay, where are we? Da, 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 da. TJ Squatchy. I know the difference between a sharp knife and a dull one. Yeah, I'm a little better than that, but yeah, that's not much. That's pretty much it. Uh, Sarah, right? Not releasing the name, and you're right when you say not releasing the name as a downsize. It might make people scared to donate even to the good guys, and we've talked about that. Okay, y'all know when we did the deal for Mad Chad, and he didn't have a bank account, and so when I was talking to Bigfoot, I suggested that he get a Cash App because a Cash App account, the Cash App deal that you transfer money through, because at least they'll send him a debit card. So he got that set up, but he didn't have a bank account, and obviously it takes a week or so for the debit card, and so we were trying to figure out how to do this, and a lot of you guys were, I don't have a Cash App, but can I PayPal? But he didn't have a PayPal, and some people didn't have PayPal or whatever. So as you all know, a lot of people PayPal'd me, and then I sent him the money via Cash App, and then a bunch of you guys sent contributions via the mail, and that was what I said the other day. $1,275 worth of checks and cash showed up in the mail the other day, and so I sent all that over to Shad. I mean, it was again waiting for the checks to clear. No offense, guys, but that's only prudent. Okay. But each time, it was like, okay, Shad, here's my PayPal account. Here's everything that came in. Here's the Cash App. Here's everything that was sent to you. I couldn't send him copies of the checks because a couple of people had requested to remain anonymous. But it was like, okay, here's what everything did. And I talked to the other channel that was kind of running this and explained exactly what was going on. So, I mean, I was trying to keep the transparency going because I wanted to make sure y'all knew the money got where you were hoping it to get to it. I wasn't taking it. That was the thing to kind of go through. So, but y'all remember it was the same thing at Christmas time. It's like, okay, this is the money that came in. Here's broke down to the penny. Here's the receipt. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying, Sarah. And that's why Mrs. Pinball and I have decided, and even though it's going to suck, if a situation comes like that again, we are not going to get involved as a middleman again, just because it opens it up for too many allegations, and the same reason I don't want to do here. If somebody's got their own PayPal, let's and again, I'm not calling names up, but let's talk like Needy Homestead, and I mean, hell, obviously she was legit. She's sitting in a hospital room with casts on both her arms, but she had her own what's it called, GoFundMe account set up, so that was nice. So anybody could have just put, you could have sent the money directly to her. There was no middleman. That's the way we're going to stay involved again. I tried to help Shad as much as I could, and then after I did it, I realized it's like, okay, this can be very awkward, and so trying to make sure that I don't get in any trouble either or whatever, because all it takes is somebody to start spreading a rumor too. And I mean, at first that's what we thought all that was until we saw the actual documentation. So that's where it gets kind of crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I wish we had a good answer, Sarah. If you do, please share it with us, because I mean, like I said, for the last 48 hours, we've been all trying to figure out how the hell to fix this, and I mean, we just can't come up with a good answer. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Prepper 21, super duper fun Saturday. I'm sorry, this one didn't start out to be rah rah, let's have a party tonight. So, Melissa Day, are there vegetables that grow decently in morning sun only? You do have some partial sun vegetables that are fine. Most of them, the morning sun, nah. Yeah, I mean, most of what you're going to need, I mean, flowers, no problem, but vegetables, you're usually going to need 6 to 8 hours of sun on there. So, getting 3 hours in the morning, you're not going to have a whole lot of luck with it. Uh, Foggy Mountain at butter knife, steak knife. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I can do those. There's no problem. Chris Williams, hi Pinball. How's your garden getting on? Okay, so here's good. This is a little fun to talk about. Okay, so we have planted in the garden the spinach, the beets, and the radishes. Okay, did that last week. They haven't come through yet. It's been cold at night, so I'm not expecting them to come up probably until sometime this week. Inside, our peas are doing phenomenally. Those will go in the ground, the gutters. They will go in the ground next weekend. I'll show you guys how easy that is. Our peppers all three kinds look fabulous. The eggplant all looks good. Believe it or not, I can't believe it. Asparagus is supposed to take up to 2 months to germinate. I mean, I've got asparagus that germinated here in less than a week. I mean, I've already got asparagus. I mean, they're needle thin, but they're 2 inches high already, 2.5 inches high. Under grow lights and everything. My celery's all coming up. That's all still yay big, but a lot of that came up. Celery's tough to grow, but so the seedlings are all coming up. We had done tomatoes and cabbage last week in the cells. The cabbage has already started. The tomatoes haven't popped yet. I'm waiting, I guess, in the mail. One of you guys has found a long storage tomato. I've never heard of this, but who was it? Hang on, let me see if I can look real quick. Crap, what did I do with the email? Oh, Steve W. Had said he found some long storing tomatoes. So he wanted to send me some to see if I can grow them. He said he was still eating fresh tomatoes in February. So if we've got tomatoes, I mean, they've got to be hybrids. It's the only thing I can think of if they're going to store that long. But hey, if we can have something where you can keep fresh tomatoes for 4 months, I'm all over that. So go from there. Okay. But yeah, everything's going good. Leeks are doing wonderful. I had to reseed my onions. I don't know if I got a bad batch or whatever. All my leeks came up fine. My onions didn't come up at all. So I reseeded my onions. So I'm waiting to see what happens with those. Because I mean, when you're planting onion seeds, you're putting 100 of them in there or whatever. Y'all saw me do it, and not a single one sprouted. So that I got to think I had bad seeds or something like that. So we'll see what happens. So I'm redoing those. But yeah, that's the interesting part on the gardening. So things are going well, and I can't wait to get out in the dirt. I finally got the last corner put in my 40 by 30 garden this weekend. When I did that yesterday afternoon. And so now there's just a little bit of soil work, but potatoes should be going in the ground next weekend too. So some of the stuff is going to start going in the ground here for me. All right, mouse, and where are we here? The rooster, X-rated. Here's one. It's dirty. The Pigville in the mud, and it's in Washington. Yeah, that's about as dirty as we get around here. Stacy, how are my seeds going? Same story as just there. Okay. Diane S. Did anyone see the crazy video of Nancy Pelosi going off on a crazy rant? If I recently, I mean, Nancy Pelosi goes off on a crazy rant once a week, so I haven't seen a recent one, but don't know. Jennifer Lax, why wasn't the amendment? Hang on, it just scrolled to the bottom on me. I gotta go back to where. Trying to find it. Okay, I gotta move faster, I guess, here because there's a lot of stuff going on. All right. Somebody said, I'm trying to find it, why wasn't the Ted Cruz amendment passed? I really didn't even know what he had, if it was an amendment or rider that they were trying to get on the stimulus bill. I didn't see it. I just saw they kicked out the $15 minimum wage. They kicked out that bridge to Canada. So yeah, let's see. Come on, where were we? Oh my God, how much did I miss? Okay, here we go. I got it. Okay. So yeah, I don't, if there was something different Ted Cruz did. I don't know what it was. Uh, Texas Janet, do I use drip tape or C-pose in my garden? Depends on which. Drip tape, yes, but I also made my own watering system with PVC pipe and drilling holes in it there, and then I can just hook up my hose, and then I've got the ball joint valves that I can put on there and maneuver the water, whatever I need. That seems to work better for me than the drip tape around here. But it's one of those things that I've got to assemble after I get all the plants in the ground and everybody's come up, and then I put the whole thing in. So, Keith Brooke, Guns N' Roses or Motley Crue? Motley Crue all day. Douglas DeLong, where was I born? Suburbs of Chicago, if you can't tell by my accent. Prepper 21, do I have a favorite heavy metal song? It's got to be Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Patty Bob, good evening, all. Greetings from Germany. Greetings back from the United States. It's probably what do you guys, about 7 hours ahead of us? So, yeah, well, you're probably 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. We need to be in bed. Lita Gay Magnuson, do you think we live on a flat earth? No, I've been around the whole thing. I can tell you for certain it's round. Okay, and it ain't just a disc, it's a sphere. Yeah, and no, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so that one's not going to go anywhere. Uh, Charlotte Judison, did I receive the package? The package I sent you. I have not been to the post office box since Tuesday, and I know who everything there was packaged there. I know who that's from. It's for Mrs. Pinball, and she's gonna open that video or open that box with her cooking video, which we're supposed to do tomorrow. So that's it. So she's anxiously being patient. How about that one? Can't believe she's not opening a box, but she wants to do it. I said, you got to do it on camera. She goes, okay, I'm going to do it with my cooking video. All right, then you can open the box. So if it's come this week, Charlotte, I don't know, unless it was one of those envelopes that was for Mad Shad, and then I got a whole bunch of them. So I haven't seen anything else, and your name doesn't ring a bell from the checks that I got. So if it was one of the packages that had, or one of the envelopes that had cash in it, maybe it was. But if it was a package, no, I have not received it yet. I know, roundabout answer, but like I said, my brain is fried today. David Williams, your comment on the new wave of cancel culture, i.e., Gone with the Wind. Well, I mean, they're basically trying to cancel half the country. I mean, if you're white, Christian, straight, you got to be canceled. So I've said countless times, guys, I'm 100% think we're going into balkanization. And how it divides out, I did a video on a while back. I think it's going to be okay, as of such and such date, these states are going to be this, these states are going to be this, and these states are going to be this, and you're going to see people moving all over the country. Get me out of the blue states, get me to the red. Then you're going to have liberals in red states are going to get me to the blue states, and whatever it's going to be. It's going to be a soft civil war, is what it looks like. I mean, I don't know. This is weird. Trying to predict the future. I mean, I do a video on it tomorrow, and it's like I've been researching that one and trying to put bits and pieces together for a week. Yeah, just weird. Jules, thanks again for gas advice. Filled my truck, my mom's car, and some gas cans. Good deal, because I mean, you ain't going to see gas. I've said many times we're going to see $4 a gallon gas this year. I said that when I was at $2 a gallon gas, so I figured price of gallon of gas was going to double, and we're moving well. Speaking about picking prices, I hope you guys got some silver when it was down at 25.15, because I saw silver bounce back a little bit on Friday. So hope so I kind of figured 25 was the bottom. It might go to 24, but that would be some real pressure. But I thought 25 was the bottom. 25.15 seemed to be right about where that support level was. No, Doug DeLong, no. the guy that we raised all the money for, that was Mad Shad. No, Shad's got his everything's going well for him. If I put the video up the other day, just in case you didn't see, he had his interview with the company in Cleveland. They offered him the job. He is going up to Cleveland very soon to see the area, meet everybody at the plant, do whatever, and then moving on up to Cleveland. So no, that one, everything there went smoothly. It's it, it was none of the recipients. I mean, they were all fine. It was a content creator who was the thief. So I mean, that's the issue. Is somebody who actually took a contribution and then didn't give it when he was supposed to. Uh, Diane asks, what do you think of Ted Cruz if he ran for president? I like him. I like Ted Cruz too. Uh, if he was the nominee, I would absolutely vote for him. I personally, I'm waiting to see, and I know a few people have talked about Ron DeSantis. I think DeSantis is peaking as governor of Florida. I think that's. I don't think he'd make a good president. Jim Jordan of Ohio intrigues me. Kristi Noem of South Dakota intrigues me. But if Trump runs, obviously he's the front runner. If I had a handicap it right now, I'd say Ted Cruz is probably the number two. If Trump doesn't run, he's the number one. But we don't know if Cruz is going to run. He might not. He may just say the hell with it. I got to keep Texas in one piece and stay as a senator. So sometimes you get people that run over and over again. I mean, you look at Biden. Biden ran in what, 92 and 2006, or what was it? No, 2008, and then 2020. So I mean, it's like, oh, I lost. I'll take a decade off. I lost again. I'll take another decade off, and here we go. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see who it comes. I mean, we're still 3+ years out, but yeah, I mean, if Cruz was the nominee, I'd absolutely vote for him. I think the man's brilliant. Let's see. Linda S. There's a prepper showing he does donate. I'm assuming it's him. Uh, yeah, if you're talking about something on a community tab, you're right. Do. Jasmine Torres, how did I get into learn farming? Okay, I'm not a farmer, not at all. I mean, I've been in business my entire life. I've just always got into gardening, and you know, my grandfather was a phenomenal gardener. My mother was a phenomenal gardener. So, I mean, I learned a lot from them. And, then of course, the fact that I've lived in so many different places, I've had I mean, I had a garden in Boston. I had a garden in Las Vegas. I had, a garden in Tennessee. I mean, let's talk about three completely different climates, and so you got to learn with each one. And they're, all different. I mean, some of the things are still the same. I mean, peas are peas, but compost is compost. You know what I mean? Okay. But soils are different, climates are different. I mean, it's totally different growing something in, 90-degree temperature and 100% humidity in, the soil and, the soil in Massachusetts that's got, so much rock in it versus 110-degree temperatures and 10% humidity in Vegas and a very sandy soil, or then coming down here and I'm back up to that 90-degree temperatures and 100% humidity, but now I got a very clay soil. So how you do all that, there's a lot of learning and experimenting, and you keep trying it. Sasha Time, did you still have the puppy Mrs. Pinball found, or you found him a good home? Yeah, this was got a month ago or so. We had called animal control, and because our two dogs were not, we had caught him and had him in the house, and our two dogs were having nothing of another dog in the house. And remember, it was so cold. So fortunately, we got the puppy and took him to the shelter. It is a no-kill shelter, and they even said they won't have any problem finding him a new home because, I mean, again, being a beagle out here, a very good dog to have out in the country. But yeah, don't know what happened to him, but we know that he was at least warm and out of the cold and got fed and medical and everything like that. Diana S., I heat my house with oil, not good news. Yeah, let's just let, yeah. All you folks up in the Northeast that heat with oil, you better pray for an early spring because it's going to get expensive if you got to refill your tanks. Nicole Gray, is celery hard to grow? You got to know what you're doing with celery. Celery's a little bit like potatoes in the fact that you need to hill them. And if you know what I mean by hill, it's, putting dirt up and making a hill around it because what you want for those good long straight white stalks is you need to keep the sun off of them. So as they grow a little bit, you need to cover them and just leave the leaves showing, and then cover them and just leave the leaves showing. You want to keep the leaves of the celery outside the dirt, but you want to keep the stalk in, and that's how you end up growing celery. It's not that it's hard to grow; it's like you just have to know how to do it, and that's the big trick there. Jules, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Okay, guys, got some gas prices here, and all right. Patriot Ref, Trump warned us all, gas prices and border issues. Yeah, I guess the first busloads of illegals are coming across the border this weekend. Lucky us, right? Because we don't have, we've got so many extra jobs right now and all this extra housing that we can put all these illegals up in. Sorry, I needed something to drink. Portia Panache, angry prepper was beyond angry. Yeah, I mean, Jason's a straight shooter. I get the fact some people don't like the fact he uses foul language. Okay, but the guy lives in New York City. Okay, if you've ever been to New York, that's how they all talk. That's normal for him. Okay. But Jason's a straight shooter. He's a nice guy. I mean, I spent an hour on the phone with him after that video today, just talking to him about the video and other things that he's got going on that I've got going on. I mean, we get along famously. But you know, Jason's one of the few. I like to call him the king of prepping. I mean, he's one of the old school guys. Been around. I mean, Christ, you go online, find a New York. Okay, can you guys all hear me? Give me a 5x5 again. I got a reconnecting on my phone. All right, somebody give me a 5x5 and tell me what we got. I get to the bottom so I can hear you. Buffering, shoot, think I lost you, buffer. Okay, so we're back. All right, good. Yeah, sorry about that. All of a sudden, my phone's going reconnecting. So I don't know, either YouTube or my Wi-Fi or whatever. It shouldn't be my Wi-Fi. Like I told you, we finally got fiber optic in here. All right, so I had to go look at the bottom. So I'm gonna just kind of figure out where I will. Starro, will I elaborate on the trucking mileage charge increase? So like I said, this was information that I got from one of the subscribers, and again, talking about rates going from 250 to 350 a mile. That's not what the trucker's making. That's what the company is paying. The company that's getting the goods is paying the trucking company, and of course the driver, like I said, getting 50-60 cents a mile, whatever it would be. Well, those freight rates are going up, and as this person was saying, up to around $8 a mile. Doesn't mean the driver's going to get paid more. It just means the trucking company is going to get more. Now, of course, rates are going to go up if diesel fuel goes up, et cetera, and you've got other things. But there's so many issues with a truck driver shortage. Okay, so companies they're almost having to bid for drivers. Let's say there's 5 loads of stuff that need to be moved, but there's only 3 drivers who are available. And I mean, obviously, we're talking a much bigger scale, but let's just use this to make it easy. There's 5 loads and only three drivers available. Well, now these companies have to start bidding. It's like, well, I'll pay him $6 a mile. Well, I'll pay him $7 a mile. Well, I'll pay him $8 a mile. And the other 2 are going, well, I can only pay 5. I can only pay 5. Well, guess who gets it? The $6, the $7, and the $8 guy get the loads, and the 2 that are paying 5, they're like, sorry, we got better money coming from over there. So, that's a lot of what's going into it too. But again, the ones who are getting screwed in all this is the truck drivers. Carmen, your dog pulled up all your onions. Jeez. Fence. Dawn Marie, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Love your channel and all you do to help us and keep us informed. I try, guys, I try my best. And I mean, y'all know it takes a little bit of work, but I have too much fun doing this and talking to all of you and reading all the comments. And I mean, God knows sometimes there's 800 comments on the video, and I'll be sitting here for 2 hours reading them all. But I enjoy it, you know. And Mrs. P always said to me, you know, if you ever get sick and tired of doing this, if it ever becomes work, stop. And I agree with that. If I ever go, oh my God, I gotta go do YouTube or something, that's when it's time for me to leave. But as long as I'm enjoying this and learning so much, because you got to think, not only do I learn stuff from you, but when I have to research a lot of these videos that I make, I'm learning from that research too. So, you know, I mean, you get into some of these stories, it's like, oh, okay, you know, that's kind of cool. And I didn't know that. So, you know, it's good education for me to do this as well. So, you know, don't ever think that, you know, I'm not still learning. That's for sure. You know, like I said at the top, there's some things that I'm very good at. There's some things that I enjoy a lot, history, for example. But I mean, obviously, I'm not Encyclopedia Britannica. So, you know, there's a lot of things that I learn when I'm going through with history. I mean, there's a lot of things I learned from Mrs. Pinball about history. I mean, it's funny. I think I've told you this story before about watching uh, the History Channel and stories on World War II. You know, and in school here, we were never taught about, you know, the whole Russian uh, military and, you know, what they did to defeat the Nazis. I mean, we were all told, you know, hey, the United States went in with Britain and D-Day and stormed into Berlin, and that was the end of it. You know, we never heard the other side. Now, of course, this was during the Cold War, so you know, and so listen to the stories from her, and she's like on the other side, and they're like, oh yeah, and you know, and in the Soviet Union, they're like, yeah, the Russians went in, and the Russians defeated, took down Berlin, and that was it. You know, there's no mention of you know the British and the Americans going in. So it's kind of interesting to learn about learn about how people learned about history. So kind of interesting, but yes. Uh Nothing, yeah, Jules, nothing like a fresh vine ripened tomato. Yes, I agree. I want to see if I can get those tomatoes from Scott, it's gonna be awesome. If I can get them to grow, we'll see what happens. But I'll show you guys that. Ricky Beerler, video of potato planting, how to, please. Sure, no problem. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of garden videos here as things are going in. I mean, I didn't show you how to plant tomato seeds or something like that. You know, if you need to learn that, okay, this is a 1/4 inch and you put it in dirt and you cover it with dirt. I mean, come on, okay. There's only, you know, if there's interesting ways or different ways to do it, sure, I'll show you that. If it's simple enough as, okay, you put the seed in the dirt, you put a little bit of water on it, I'm not going to bore you. Hey, JW, let's see. Jam at the nut house. Celery's like a weed here, pops up all over the mulched walkways in my garden. I had a volunteer celery come up. Don't even ask me how. It had to be somehow not completely done in my compost or whatever it is, because my potato and corn plot out here all of a sudden has a volunteer celery plant in it. Don't ask me how that happened. Because I mean, that's a new garden. It hasn't even ever been used. Uh, oh, okay. Jennifer Lax, Ted Cruz presented an amendment asking no illegal immigrants receive $1,400. Yeah, I'm 100% behind that one. Why? Well, of course, again, you have to think about this. The Democrats want the illegals to come across the border, and they want to be able to rapid fire them into citizens, because those are people that inevitably are going to vote Democrat because they're going to come here with nothing. And the Democrats are going, well, let us give you a house, and let us give you free money, and let us give you free medical, and let us give you free food. And they go, oh, sure. And all I have to do is vote for you, and I keep getting this. You know, I forget who said it. There's a famous quote or whatever it is. I think it was Abraham Lincoln. Uh, who said America will, something along the lines of, America will cease to exist when they realize that they can vote themselves money or something like that. I can't remember how the exact quote goes, but that's literally what it is. It's like when people just start voting, going, "Oh yeah, I'll vote for you as long as you keep giving me free stuff." Yeah, okay, that's not a long-term solution to anything. Okay. Oh, good evening, Lake Ferry. See, you popped in. Mama Preps, Thunderstruck's my kid's favorite song too. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. That every time I'm driving and that song comes on, it just gets me pumped up. JW Rainbow in the Dark by Ronnie James Dio. Good song. Not good song. That's what I'll leave it. Liz H. Pinball, what suburb? I grew up in Streamwood, then Elk Grove Village. I worked in Elk Grove Village. Folks lived in Westchester when I was born. They still live in Darien. But then we lived up at 75th and Cass in Westmont when I was living in Chicago, but it was about 50. And where's Ogden? And we lived on Sunnyside Drive in Westchester, right off Ogden Avenue. Okay. David Kislow, cheapest place to buy Silver Eagles online. Okay, I'll give you this one. I did I did all of my silver shopping in coin shops, and so when I was doing a video yesterday, and I mentioned it, and somebody had mentioned because I'd looked online and stuff like that, and by the time you added shipping and premiums and everything like that, it was going to be like $38. It was like I can get it for $5 cheaper at my local coin shop. Why would I bother doing that? And somebody mentioned what was it? Now I can't remember the name, and I even placed an order with them. JM Bullion. And so I went and checked out their page, and they had silver rounds, Indian heads for that. They're pre-ordered. They'll be out in 2 weeks, but they were like $30 and 22 cents a round with free shipping. Now I get a military discount, but I'm going, okay, $30 and 22 cents is cheaper than $33. So I bought some silver there too as well. I mean, I got to wait 2 weeks for it to get here. But I don't know what they have for Silver Eagles. I can tell you what the coin shop near me was. He's asking 45 for his Silver Eagles. Now, I'll say this about Silver Eagles. It's still 1 ounce of silver. It's more collectible, guys, but you're not buying it. You're not buying silver for the collectability. You're buying it for the silver. And so, a 1 ounce private mint made, with whatever on it, the value of the silver is the value of the silver. It's not as collectible, but unless you're buying to be a collector, don't spend the extra money on buying Silver Eagles. Just buy whatever 1 ounce rounds you can get as the cheapest you can get, because an ounce of silver is going to be worth an ounce of silver regardless. So if Sue Hatton's in here, she could probably tell you 10 times more about silver than I do. I know I saw her earlier, but Sue's another channel to go check out. Go look at her channel. But if you want to learn something about silver, I'd say Sue's probably a good person to talk to. Yeah, Eric Johnson, if the earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off it by now. That's good. I like that. Gina, yay, Mrs. P is doing a cooking video. What is Shad's YouTube channel called? It's Mad, M-A-D, space, S-H-A-D, Mad Shad. Okay, yes, she is doing her next cooking video tomorrow, and I see a whole bunch of people are talking about it there real quick. So this is tomorrow's video, it's going to be Monday mornings, but we'll film it tomorrow, is going to be another Russian staple. And this is one that you can make out of your preps. And the nice part about it is you can feed probably a family of 5 or 6 on about $4. It's fish soup. So, for all those of you that couldn't imagine making fish soup, this is actually really good. And so that's what she's going to be making tomorrow, and we'll put that up on Monday. So I know everybody's going fish soup, but again, like I said, this is it's a good soup, okay, but B, you can make it out of your prep. So we make it with canned mackerel, which is great. But think about it too is, all right, if it's wintertime and you catch a couple of little bluegill, let's say something like this, that's all you got. But you can take that little bluegill and make a soup out of it rather than get a couple of potato chips worth of patties. Now you can feed a few more people with some flavor. Okay, so again, good meal to have now with fish, but it's also a good prepping meal, and real cheap. Okay, so let's see where else. Uh, Ricky, what's a soft civil war? That's a new one on me. It's it's not going to be a it's not going to be a bullets and blood battle. That's what I mean. It's going to be fought differently. You know, it's going to be fought more economically, technologically. You know, you're not going to have the bloodshed like you would in the first Civil War. Dawn Marie, thanks to me, I bought silver. Well, good. I'm glad you did. I mean, I hope, you know, again, I'll say this a lot about buying silver. If you're far enough in your preps where you're going, okay, I know I need to add more, but what? That's when you're looking at precious metals. You have to have all your food squared away. You had, you know, I mean, again, that's up to you, but my suggestion has always been a year's worth of food. That gets you through a complete growing cycle. All right. Uh, you have to have any weaponry you plan on having and any ammo that you plan on having. That's got to be squared away. Yeah, you know, you need to have your power situation at least supplied of some sort, whether it's generators, whether it's solar, whatever it's going to be. You got to have, you know, at least some sort of power source. So, you know, those things need to be taken care of. And then you look at wealth preservation because otherwise, you know, you need to have everything done to look at wealth preservation. Otherwise, you're spending the wealth to get the stuff that you need. Then I know I get this question all the time, you know, how much silver should I buy? And I think anybody responsible with investing, 5 to 10% of your assets could be in precious metals. Okay. Now, maybe that goes up a little bit if, you know, we get in a real essay, you know, closer and closer to a total collapse of the economy. But, you know, some yes, but, you know, if you got $10,000 in the bank, by no means am I saying, oh my God, go take all the money out of the bank and go buy silver. Okay. That doesn't work because you still can't take that silver to the grocery store and say, my bill's $50. Good. Here's two silver coins. And what's my change? You know, it doesn't work like that. So, you know, remember, eventually somebody's going to have to give you whatever the fiat currency is back for your silver for it to be spendable, unless we're in Armageddon and, you know, it's a barter item at that point. Uh, Gina M., we left New York to North Carolina. We're now moving to Missouri. North Carolina is getting too blue for our liking. Yeah, I see that. And trust me, it worries me because if it starts creeping over here to East Tennessee, you know, then we start getting in my neck of the woods. Uh, Jam at the Nut House. Who gets the keys to the big boom silos in the various states? Yeah, I mean, again, if I had all the answers, I'd be the one living in the White House. I don't know. You know, that's going to be interesting because obviously there's some in blue states and there's some in red states. And so how does that all work? Uh, let's see. Bruce here. How about Don Jr. for president? I'm not, you know, ironically, I'm not a big fan of Don Jr. Uh, Don Senior, Donald himself, yes, absolutely. Don Junior, I'm not a fan. Uh, Ted Cruz reminds me of Foghorn Leghorn. Okay. Uh, okay. Tabby Caddy asked, "Can I tell us the next dish Mrs. Finball will be showcasing?" That's the fish soup. Uh, Diana's, how do you store large amounts of kerosene safely? Well, definitely outdoors. Okay. And well, outside your house. Let's put it this way. You know, you're going to keep it. I don't know what you're talking about. Large amounts. I mean, 55-gallon drums or whatever it was. You know, certainly nowhere by any sort of fire or anything like that. But I don't have kerosene, so I mean, it's not something that I'm not the right person to ask for that one. Okay, I'd ask somebody who's going to know more about kerosene. I have no use for it. You know, everything I've got here is on propane. Uh, Linda Price Duncan, am I all hearing a chord sound? I don't know. All right. I wonder if was that any time when the things started spinning and we got disconnected real quick. Track rock. I put 300 crystal garlic bulbs for the wife. Wow. Okay. Yeah, being a Southerner and her from New Jersey, I hate garlic. Okay. 300 garlic bulbs. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of garlic. Uh, but you know what? You can also sell it. I mean, that's people garlic's good organic garlic like that. You can sell it for each clove for somebody else to plant because if you're down south, you can plant. You plant in the spring, you plant in the fall. Garlic goes through the winter, and if you got some extra that's left over, sell off the cloves or whatever. Let people plant it and grow their own. Dixie Vixen looks like another cold low pressure to hit mid country again around 15th, 18th of March. I saw something that there might be another snowstorm coming in for the upper Midwest, but I didn't see. I haven't looked out that far yet. There's a channel that does the weather on YouTube here that I watch every once in a while, but a half an hour worth of weather is not something I'm going to do every day. Just don't have that time. Connie Gardner, I just started a celery plant from the cutoff base of a stalk I bought. We'll hill it. There you go. Susan Dorr, I didn't know that. I don't have chickens, but if you wet your chicken feed, it clumps and the dust gets eaten and you save about 20%. That's actually a good idea. Yeah. I can see how that would work. I wonder if it'd work with dog food. There you go, Bruce. We got a shelter shepherd. Oh, this is, yeah, you've been talking about this. A shelter shepherd that came down from down south, a great rescue dog. Yes. I remember you talking about this a couple of weeks ago. David Williams, Mexico is squashing the results of the power failure investigation last month for 2 years. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's, we are not hearing anything in the news about the fiasco with Texas. Okay, this is back where we were. Singerman Marquette 4x4. Thanks a lot. Just come up. All right, so of course then it shot all the way to the bottom again. Oh Christ. All right, I'm just going to catch up here because, oh my God, it's 9:56. Yeah, Linda S. Constantine, yeah, I was chatting with him today via email. Yeah, I saw he's got COVID again. Yeah, moldy soldier. Yeah, sometimes this lifestyle being conservative Christian is quite lonely. Yeah, well, I mean, fortunately, we've all got each other. That kind of helps too. What else we got? Diane S. segment on 60 Minutes or 2020 of big red trucks being driven by computers. Yeah, I saw a story today about Kroger automating all of its warehouses. Wonderful. And I've heard the stories about trucks too. It's like, okay, let's automate all this. We automate all this stuff. That's great. Where are you going to work, people? We have all this automation. How are you going to earn any money? Oh, the universal basic income. Yippee. Okay. Everybody will be universally poor. Universally poor. Freddie left you. I'm so sad my pops got talked into secretly taking the jab by his. How do you secretly take the damn shot? Ugh. Thank you for the super chat, but how did that happen? What did somebody do? Just drug him and stick the needle in? That's insane. Okay, I'm gonna try to scroll here real quick because again, I'm only about halfway through this. Yeah, they're buying votes with their tax money. Isn't buying votes illegal? Yes, it is. Let's see, where else are we? Oh, yeah, TJ, you're in under your other account. Okay, well, hello. Sorry, I didn't see you in here. I just saw TJ uncensored. I'm like, oh, okay, there she is. Ben Affleck, if it means anything, you buy American Eagles and sell them. You don't pay capital gains tax. Okay, again, if you've got, there's a difference, I guess, between if you're trading silver, you're trying to play, to buy it at 20, let's say after premium, you're going to buy it at 33, and if it goes up, you're going to sell it at 38. Sure, I can see it. I think most preppers are buying and hold, so that's the kind of deal there. So. I'm not going to pay $10 extra premium on a Silver Eagle, though. I just I understand for collecting reasons. I guess I was watching a video and there's some sort of 1 ounce silver coin that's going for like $800 or whatever it is. No idea why anybody paid that because it's still 1 ounce of silver, but for collectors, and I'm not a collector, I'm just stacking for wealth preservation. So, Diane, I'm from New England. I'll stick with clam chowder. Yes, okay. So I agree with you. I love clam chowder too. It's got to be white. Don't give me any of that Manhattan crap. Okay, where else? I'm just trying to fly through these here real quick. Prediction on when the U.S. 10-year Treasury note hits 3%. I'm still waiting. I'm still watching for the 1 3/4 to 2. And it depends. I can see that happening this summer. Late summer is still where I think we hit one up around 2%. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. All right, North Shore. I'm gonna ask you here. Just answer me. Are you coming? Are you coming on here at when I'm done? North, are you still there? I see you there. I'll be up in 5. Okay. All right. It is the typical 10 o'clock time for me to wrap it up, guys. I'd like to do this for an hour and kind of go, but North Shore Preparedness always does the after party, or most of the time does the after party. And if you haven't gone over to North's channel, go. It's usually a lot of fun. I enjoy listening to Sean. So I thank everybody for this evening again, for all you guys that sent over the super chats. It's appreciated. That's not necessary, but definitely appreciated. So thank you all. Guys, have a good Saturday. Have a good Sunday. Say a prayer tonight for, all those that need one. So have a good one, guys. Pinball out.